And so, as women, there's a bond that no matter where we go or how far away we are of each other, that we're still connected. And that one thing that we're connected is the bond that you formed here. And that bond is based by God. God wants to let you know how happy He is with all of you. Because you're wonderful women. And your age to start your womanhood in the way you're starting with honor and praising Him above everything else. And before you make a decision, you go to Him and then share with each other and pray for each other. That is the most wonderful thing in the whole world. I know you were doing Proverbs 31 women, but there's one part of Proverbs 31 women that really came to my heart. So I'm going to share that with you, okay? And then we'll talk about it. But it's Proverbs 31:30. Charm is deceptive, beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Along with that is Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Right? Fools desire wisdom and instruction. Proverbs 3:7. Fear of the Lord, turn away from. Turn away from what? Evil. Right? So what is really the fear of the Lord? What does that mean? That was a question that I had. Do any of you know what the fear of the Lord is?
Just having enough respect for God to where you don't want to do things that you know would not things that you know are against Him. Just having enough respect, I guess.
Yeah, like it's not the fear that like you're like, oh my goodness, God's wrath, that you're gonna run away from Him, but it's just like you were saying, like out of respect, like you fear Him as if like you honor Him so much that all that you do is you want to make sure that you are glorifying Him.
Yeah, and you don't want to disappoint like a parent. You don't want to disappoint your parent.
That's
you always
right.
want to do good for your parent. So, yeah, we don't want to disappoint God.
On the other hand, I feel like we should be that fearful because He has the key to life and death, y'all. He can kill you and kill you again. That's just scary.
But what does He always do for you? He always comes through. Always comes through. So no matter what's going on in your life, you know who to go to, right? And that's a key that we can share with everybody, right? And that fear is that reverence, you know, of who He is. Just like you honor your parents, and you're like, oh, I really do. And sometimes they'll drive you crazy, and sometimes they'll tell you to do things, even though you're saying, I have no idea why you're telling me. This makes no sense. But He knows. He knows where you're going, and He sees. And the main thing is heed His word. Keep His word in your heart, because that way, that evil, that death, no matter what, it's not going to scare you in the sense, because He tells us not to be scared, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure every day, like I was sharing with Linsa this one thing that happened to me that a couple of weeks ago that really made me feel how much I have grown in the Word. Because when you're faced with death and God is speaking to you, are you going to listen? And that's something that I always thought about, is am I going to listen? And I had been out on 4th of July with my friends, and we went with Anita and Elaine, and I was coming home, and I turned down the street that I was going down, and suddenly I was alone in the car, and I was the only person in the street, and this car, I see these lights heading my way. It was 2 lanes here and 2 lanes my way, and suddenly this car was coming towards me. And he was going this side, I would go this side, he would go this side. I go this side, he would go this side. And I was really afraid, and I said, Lord, is this my time? I have no fear then. I was ready. I knew I was ready for that moment. But He spoke to my heart. He says, stay in this lane. Stay in this lane. And then quickly, that car passed me. And then I beat the horn afterwards, and the guy realized, and he backed up and made a turn, and the people that were coming, guess what happened? They didn't hit him, and nobody got hurt. And then the strange thing is, I was coming home, and right behind me, my neighbor's son was in that light. So if there were other cars that day with me, something would have really happened. But that's how God has you. He has you really close. And as each one of you go down your different roads, you know, and you're not together, keep this in remembrance, that God is speaking to you. You have gained something, your growth that you have learned here together is going to continue. And you're going to share it. You're going to keep on sharing it with every life that you touch. So keep that in your heart. That's my simple message to you. That is what I came all this way for. Is just to give you that message. As you part, do not forget what you have been given here today and every day that you met together. And the bond that you form, even though you might not be together and situations happen, pray. Pray for each other. Because as women, our prayers are so important. Pray for your families. Pray for your siblings, your brothers, your sisters, your friends, your lost friends, your friends that are challenging you, that are saying, well, I don't want you to call me. I don't want you to do this, right? Right? Then what do? You pray for that friend, right? And you be one with them. Because that's what we need. We need that in this world to make a difference, you know, all the time. All right? That's it. That's all I have to say.
Yay!
Short and simple,
Right.
but it's with love, with genuine love. I hope you all feel my love for each one of you, and I'll keep each one of you in my prayer every day. Because it's such an honor to meet each one of you. It really is. And I will give you my email. If you want to email me at any time, you're welcome to it. I'm here for you. I'm a woman of warrior prayer, okay? And sometimes we're found in a place that we need prayer, and we need a partner in prayer or somebody to listen. All right, and I think as women that's so important, no matter what age, even an old woman like me, what age, that we can support each other in God's love. And thank you so much, Lisa, for inviting me. I really do appreciate it. And I know that my words might be simple, but I know that some way they touch each one of you, and that God will continue as you go home and the days pass. My words will come to you, and you'll feel it, and you'll know what I'm talking about. You know? And that's the most important thing. It is. And I'd like to give each one a hug. Is that okay? Yeah.
Glory to God.